Are you looking for a podcast about the saddest robot movie?
Then you must be thinking of another podcast. Whoa! Good evening, Kelsey.
Good evening, Robert.
How are you today?
Fine and fancy free. How are you?
I am good now.
Now,
Man, I got stuff to tell you about. And before I get into it, I'm going to need to crack it.
let's rip it open.
So, actually, I think this is going to be what people would consider to be a fan favorite thing that YMBToAP has happen, where Robert gets angry
Okay, hell yeah.
the whole show.
Let's do it.
Just everything we talk about today.
Coming in pissed off.
Potentially. Oh, wait. I didn't even take a sip. See, look, I'm
Get
so
a
mad.
sip, man. Calm it down.
Oh, yeah. So good. Okay.
There you go.
So you were a little bit involved in this,
Yes.
and I have no answers for you.
Okay.
But so Monday, I'm working from home. Life is good, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like, you've probably had your internet drop out before.
Plenty
That
of
seems
times.
like kind of normal. But this time, it was like an error popped up on like every device, and it was like, hey,
No.
you don't have internet right now. I've never seen it do that. It's usually like, oh, I can't make a connection.
Yeah, like, oops, I lost it. Give me a minute.
Yeah, it just like everything goes tuk, 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 like everything starts popping up, and it's like, yo, you don't have your fiber anymore, man.
Where'd
I'm
your
like,
internet go? We can't find
okay.
it.
Fine, I'll just go unplug the router, right? So I go in there, unplug it, 10 seconds, plug it in, and it's just like this fast red light. So I'm like, okay, that seems bad.
Yeah.
Let me pull out my phone. So I pull out my phone. I can't get anywhere. Like I can't do anything. And not because you know, I'm on mobile now. I even turn the Wi-Fi off because sometimes it's like if you're trying to connect to Wi-Fi or it's looking for one,
Mm-hmm.
just like does bad on the mobile, you know?
Yeah.
Well, turn that off. And it was fine. So I'm like, well, I got to text people and let them know I can't work right now, right?
Yeah.
I can't get any texts out. So Taylor turns her phone into a mobile hotspot, and then all of her texts go out to the people she was talking to. So I'm like,
oh my God.
I'll do that. Turn that on, and it goes, that feature's not available.
Oh no.
And I went, okay, what do I do? I would go outside. I've told you that I got to go outside sometimes to get
Mhm.
signal. No signal, nothing. And then I finally get a text that comes in, and AT&T just goes, we noticed that you don't have internet right now.
Thanks, AT&T.
We'll get that fixed by 1. And I was like, it's kind of 1 now. Why isn't it fixed? And that's when I realized, because, you know, you got to read a little bit. Tomorrow at 1 a.m.
Oh God.
We're talking like 12 hours. No
Nice.
internet.
All right.
Right.
Buckle in. Get the candles.
So I was like, well, I mean, that's okay. And it's, you know, I'm not thinking anything about it, but like right before my phone starts to just like die out, we got the Ring doorbell, and there's the neighbors part of it, right? Where you can like see what the neighbors are saying.
It's like Ring doorbell Facebook. It's horrible.
Yeah. All of a sudden, messages just pour in, going like, "Is anyone's AT&T out? Is anyone's AT&T out?"
Okay.
And then finally, I get a hold of Belinda at work, and she looks it up on like some AT&T down thing, and she goes, "It's like this huge radius around where you are. It's not like a small thing. It's that whole town.
Damn. The whole city?
The whole city." And then I'm sitting there like, and I can't even get on mobile. So my mind starts to wander, and I'm like, this is what it would be like if like the foundations fell and we didn't know what was going on. This is like the beginning of that. What if something's happening out there?
Purge.
You know, should I take my standard route and be like, it'll probably be fine? Or should I go like, whoa, dude, maybe we should go get safe somewhere. Who knows?
I can't.
You know, I mean, I know the country's getting wild sometimes, but I was like, is something happening? Because that's the perfect way to do it. You know, your sources of information go down. I
Yeah.
can't seek why is AT&T down? But right before my internet went down as well, I Googled it and it said AT&T mass outages in like half of Arkansas, half of
What?
Alabama from like different days of news articles. Like it's sweeping across the country.
God.
So I was like, what do you mean? And then like everything ceases to function.
Fun.
So I drove to a different town and my phone worked.
That's so nuts.
Literally didn't work within this town city limits.
Why?
I don't know. But I have never once like had like an outage thing and been like, this is what it would feel like. This is the end times,
Yeah.
you know?
That's a little scary. Like when you texted me, I was like, are people redirecting the internet to like the areas that are affected by Helene? Like maybe there's something
Yeah.
happening over there and they need more resources or something. Like cut
Never
power
found
off
out.
to this specific town in Texas because they're good.
Yeah. So then I get a text like way late, like about 6, right? And it goes, hey, your internet's back, but you have a problem.
Okay.
So yours is out. But we fixed the issue. So click this link and it will tell you the problem and your next step. So I click the link and it goes, click this button and we'll fetch that data for you. So I click the button and then it goes, yo, dude, you need a technician.
Oh no.
That's bad.
Getting an
I'm like,
AT&T
but
tech.
what's bad?
Yeah, like that getting a tech out to your house takes 7 to 10 business days on a good week for AT&T.
So I click it and it's like all these dates are like eaten up. So I finally get like the next day, but like up to 10 o'clock at night, like the
Jesus.
last possible thing. And I was like, I might as well book it because who knows? You know,
Yeah,
we work from home. I
you're
can't
kind of
go
at the
week
mercy
without
of
it.
it.
So I go ahead and book it. And then it goes, okay, we may charge you $100, but we won't know until it gets there. And I'm like, it was your problem. Everything was fine. You had an outage across a city.
Yeah.
And now I'm going to get charged $100? Like, yeah, if my internet went out and you had to make a call just to me, sure. Right? But you're saying like there was a mass wide outage. That's an AT&T problem.
Right.
That's not a me problem. But so by the time I went to bed at like 1 in the morning, no internet. So I wake up for work, you know, ass of dawn, because you know we got to wake up super early to be able to
Yeah.
go. So it's like 5:30 or something. Internet's back.
Okay.
But when I was doing stuff, I thought if I like reset it, it would work better. So when I reset it and then it came back, it got rid of like my custom name and password. And
Yeah.
so every device in the house is connected to
Oh,
the other device name. So nothing was connected, even though the internet was back.
that sucks.
So I had to connect like all of our phones using just like the QR code on the thing on
Hmm.
the back of the router. And then I was like, I'll do, you know, all 30 other devices when I get home because I got to go to work. I got to go.
Yeah.
So I go to work and then I come home later and I was like, let me see if I can just update it. So I updated the name and the password and then every device just goes, and it just down the
I
line,
remember.
everything got on.
Okay, good.
But it was scary, man. Like, I can't even get the info to the problem. Like, if big things were happening, if like the government collapsed, that's
Yeah.
that's the first thing that would happen is that your sources of information would be next.
Right.
And I was
That's
like, is this
Is
happening?
this the end times? At least you didn't hear like a siren going off at the same time. That would have really done you in.
Yeah, I know. I would have been like, what is happening? So I had no internet. So I went to a movie,
All right.
which we'll talk about later on in the show.
Excellent. Okay.
But yeah, I've never had like that weird an internet problem. And by the way, since the internet came back, I was able to cancel the guy since he wasn't going to get there till the butt crack of dusk. So they woke up at the butt crack of dawn, but he
The
was
butt
getting
crack
there
of
like at
dusk.
the end of the day. I don't
It's
know.
the worst time of day.
The butt crack of dusk.
Don't
Well,
like that
so
one.
anyway, I got him canceled. He didn't come. I didn't have to spend $100, so everything kind of worked out in the end. But it was just a weird thing.
Yeah.
And
All right.
so that's all I have on that.
Good shit. I went up to something new this week.
Okay.
I watched a new show on Netflix. It was called Dream Academy. I believe this is the title of the show. Dream Academy:
Okay.
Cat's Eye.
Okay.
If that's not it, then you can probably find it just by searching Cat's Eye on Netflix. But
Okay. Definitely don't know that one. Okay.
it was fascinating. So, how do you feel about K-pop?
It's fine.
Yeah, I really like the dancing and just
Yeah, like
I
it's
like the
interesting, but
yeah, I like
like
the aesthetic of K-pop.
the like rabidness of the fandom is something that eludes me.
It's definitely different. So
Yeah.
K-pop is like so specific in the way things go. Like whenever they're making pop stars in Korea, because they do like
Oh
make
yeah.
them, they manufacture these kids. It's like a training camp that they put them through. So like, you
Yeah.
have to dance like this, you have to sing like this, and you have to look like this. Like it's a very regimented thing. And that system pretty much exists only in Korea. You're starting to
Okay.
see it a little bit in J-pop too, but it's a different level there. I don't think it's nearly as like intense and militaristic as the K-pop stuff is.
Okay.
Um, but what this show is attempting to do is bring that style of like that approach to creating a musical group, but bring
Okay.
that to like an international coalition of women. So like
Okay.
picking women from different countries, women and girls, because some of these kids were like fucking 15 years old trying out for this shit. And I was like, that's
Okay.
ridiculous. But it is the the labels Hybe, Hybe, and Geffen,
Okay.
Geffen, which I never heard of Geffen before, but I think Hybe is the ones behind BTS. So like everyone
Okay.
knows BTS, you know,
Yeah.
the boy band. Um, so they had it was a whole YouTube series called I think the YouTube series was just called Dream Academy, and it covered like the sourcing of these girls and like getting them um you know into the competition. And
Okay.
what the Netflix documentary is it documents like how the girls specifically were chosen and then the training camp that they went through to get to what the YouTube show was. So, what they did is they had tryouts of like hundreds of thousands of girls from around the world, and then they picked like 14, I think, which is insane to pick that few out of
That
that
is
many.
that's a shot B14. That's too much.
Yeah, that's
That's too many.
too many. It was it was weird seeing them like go through the process trying to pick them out too, because they're just like trawling social media. Like it's it's so funny because they were looking at TikTok, like at the girls who do
Oh
the
my
dancing
god.
on TikTok. Just like,
Okay.
does this girl have good dance moves? Can this girl sing? Like just swiping different profiles. And I'm like, so
Hmm.
there is a fucking purpose to dancing on TikTok, I guess.
Yeah.
So they're reaching out to these girls and stuff, and they get a bunch of them in the program, and they get them together basically in this big house, and they're living together. And
Okay.
they got one girl from Texas who I fell in love with. Her name is Emily, and she's a
Okay.
doll, and I'm obsessed with her. She's just so cute and sweet, and she was like the number one dancer. Like she was so
Nice.
fucking good.
Okay.
And so after they were training with them for like roughly 6 months, which is a long time, especially for kids because they're literally kids.
Yeah.
They're teenagers. Like some of these kids are in school. Like, how do you go to school?
No
Because
school.
they're yeah,
Dance.
I don't know if they dropped out or what because they dance literally from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. every single day.
Yeah.
It's so much dancing and singing, and they're doing all these lessons for like it's just constant like working out and getting your vocals right and just like
Yeah.
being a pop star. And it was such a weird look into the lifestyle. And so after like 6 months of training with these girls, they're like, well, we need more of you. And
No.
yeah,
14 is enough.
I know. They're like, well, we're trying to get to like probably 20 because what they're
Why?
doing.
Okay.
Yeah, so they want to make a girl group. The final amount that they want in the girl group is 6 girls. And I'm like, you already have 14,
Okay.
just eliminate 8 of them. Why do you need 20? So instead of
Yeah. Okay.
narrowing it down like that, they weren't telling the girls that it's going to go down to a survival competition at the end.
Oh
So,
my
like,
God. Okay.
you can be the best dancer, you can be the best singer, you can have everything totally good, but the fans are going to vote on what they think of you. And we're going to like
Okay.
put this out on YouTube, and like there's going to be a whole social media aspect to it. You have to get a fan base, you have to interact with them, you have to like engage with them and like help your friends, because if you want your friend to be in the group too, you should make content with your friends, because if you're popular and your friend's not, that's bad for her and bad for you. So it was it was a
Okay.
lot. It was so weird. And I felt bad because they were like clearly not communicated that. I mean, think about it. If
Yeah.
you're in a training program for 6 months and basically your thought process is, if I'm the best at the end of this, I'm going to be in the girl group.
Yeah.
That's not true. Like, you can practice all day, every day. And if you don't resonate with the fans for whatever reason, you're not going to be in the group.
It's the X factor, man.
Yes.
The X factor is way more important than skill.
Yeah. And that's how they rated these girls too, actually. So they had like dancing, singing, and then they had star quality as one of their metrics. And it was just like, yeah, she's a star. And what makes that, you don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
You can't put your finger on it. You can't define it. So they had 6 more girls come in over the course of like the next 6 to 8 months. And there's girls that have been in the program from the very beginning, performing together, singing together, sleeping in the same bed, in the same room, and just being like roommates for this whole time. And now these new girls are coming in and they're like, am I going to fit in? Is it going to be weird? Is it going to be extra competitive? Because now like I'm in with them and they've been here for this long and I'm just like fresh and I don't know anybody. Like, are they going to like me? And so the new girls come in and everybody's really nice and everything, but there is like kind of an undercurrent of, you know, we've had these friends before, like we've been here for a long time. You've just gotten here. Like, you have to kind of earn your keep a little bit.
Yeah.
And there came a point, like when they started, like just before they told the girls this is a survival show, they recorded each of them in an interview and they were like, well, who would be in your dream group at the end of this? Like, who's going to be alongside you? And they told the girls, like, we won't tell anybody, it's fine. And so of course each of the girls like lists off who they want in their group and stuff, and then they show those videos to everyone as they're all sitting in the same room.
My God. And
it's so much drama and so sad, and they're all like looking at each other like, I thought you guys liked me. And there were some girls that got like 1 vote, no votes, 2 votes. Imagine.
Especially if you were there from like the beginning.
Yes, like I felt so bad for them, and I'm like sitting there just watching the show and crying for their friendships because they're all so hurt by it, and it just felt like really underhanded. And I wish I had been like there a year ago when this whole thing was happening on YouTube to see kind of the frenzy behind it, because there's people that like actually watched, you know, the Dream Academy show, and they went in and they were able to vote on the fans and they knew who they were before all this Netflix documentary came out and all that. But dear Emily, who we had followed the entire time, she gets down to the very end, and there's this one other girl that came in, and her name is Menon. And I know there's a big fan base for Menon out there, so I'm like exposing myself if any like rabid fans of cats are gonna watch this. But Menon came in, she was one of the later additions to the squad, and she also had like a track record of just not showing up to class. Like, she would just skip out on a day of class if she wasn't feeling it, and everyone else is there all day every day and like making it happen. And if you miss a day of practice, like, you're behind on stuff. Like, you don't know this dance nearly as you have 8 hours less of practice than this other girl next to you, and if you mess up, you're going to turn around and hurt somebody, you know. Like, it's aggressive, like throwing your arms kind of dancing, you know? It's not just like easy stuff that you could pick up in a day or two. It's stuff you have to practice on day after day to get good. And they're picking the girl group. They're down to the finals, and they announced like the first 5 names, and it's people that like I kind of expected to get into it, but they're down at the very end. And my girl Emily is still sitting there in the not chosen side, right next to Manon. And I'm like, God damn it, what's gonna happen? They picked Manon for the final spot. Yeah. And I was so mad. I felt so angry for poor Emily. But it was just heartbreaking. And I think it's different after, like, I never watched the actual show for them doing their performances and all that kind of stuff. Like, I came into it seeing the background of it. So like all the Netflix stuff that everybody had been filming. So we got a lot of Emily content, and we got a lot of like kind of anti-Manon content, because everyone's like, yeah, she doesn't come in. We don't want to work with somebody who obviously doesn't have the commitment to Sparkle Motion. Like, she's not going to be the one here doing the practice every day. So I felt a certain way about Manon, maybe because the editors wanted me to, but at the same time, I feel like Emily was fucking robbed, and I was sad for her, because she was literally like, they would cut to the executive of Hive, and he'd be like, yeah, Emily's the best dancer. I think that she's great. She works well with everybody in this group. She's a great singer. She's improved so much. I love her a lot. And then they don't pick her.
Yeah.
Was it because of the fan voting? Was it something else? Like, I'm just heartbroken for her. But
it could be.
I went and stalked her on Instagram afterward a little bit just to make sure she was doing okay. And it looks like she's going to be able to launch like a solo career. So I'm happy for her in that regard. But it was really,
even say, you just said Texas, but she is from Dallas.
Yeah, she's from Dallas. Yeah.
Okay.
What's her last name? Calavos or something?
Yeah.
Emily? Yeah. She's a cool person. I looked her up on Instagram and was just like, I'm going to look at all your videos now. And she seems like she has like a good following, and she's going to have a career anyway. Okay. I can't imagine you go through, because at the end of it, it was 2 years that they all spent together. 2 years of dancing and singing training.
Dude.
It's a fucking lot of time. Like, imagine. It's basically.
But you are a good dancer now.
Yeah. So I guess I can't imagine like you walk away from that experience unchanged. You know, it's kind of rebuilt you up to be a pop star. So you're in the Pop Star Academy. You're gonna become one, I assume. I feel like pretty much every girl that got to the final 20 or whatever has probably got a career ahead of her. But man, I was sad for her.
Okay.
But it's a really good watch if you're into K-pop, or if you're just into, I love documentaries of any kind. Like, I just like to see like the bones of how they made something, you know. I love to see how the sausage is made. So I think this was a good journey. And even though I've spoiled the ending for you, I think it's still worth watching, because there was a moment, it was so sad. It made me cry. They had the like the songs written for them. They're not out there writing songs, they're just singing and dancing. So there was one song, it was called like,
when you're dancing from 8 to 8, you ain't got time to write songs.
No, you're not writing songs.
No.
It's not part of your repertoire. They had written a song for them. It was called We're All the Same. And the message of the song is like, even though we're all like competing against each other, and we're kind of, you know, trying to make sure that we're the best and you're not the best, we still, at the end of the day, want to see each other succeed, and we still all love each other. We're all the same. And like, they were all dancing to it, because it was going to be their final performance as the final 10. And they were all dancing to it, and the choreographer was like, let's dedicate this next take to the person you were when you entered the program 2 years ago. And the girls are literally fucking sobbing, just like, oh my God. It was so sad. I was there crying with them. It's just, the show's full of moments like that. It's a really good portrayal of just girlhood and friendship and love. It's a good time. So
okay.
If any of that sounds appealing to you, I highly recommend watching that.
Okay. Well, this next one is something weird that I want to tell you about.
Okay.
So we do go a little transparent from time to time. We are recording this on the 10th, right? Yes. This news came to my attention today on the 10th.
Okay.
When it was about to open. Like, I found out there was some playtest thing. It wasn't active yet, and I was like waiting in the lobby to sign up for it. And I did, and I am selected. I got a little screenshot there that I'm selected.
Well, there you go.
You can still do it now. It is still available to sign up in. You can sign up between Thursday 10:10 up to Tuesday 10:15. So actually, you guys will have one more day to sign up as you're hearing it, right?
What are you playtesting?
I don't fucking know what it's for. Everybody thinks that it is features for like Switch 2 or something, but we don't know.
Ooh, that would be cool.
So this just says, and I will tell you what it is. It's the Nintendo Switch Online Playtest Program.
All right.
We will perform a test called the Nintendo Switch Online Playtest Program related to a new feature for the Nintendo Switch Online service offered for the Nintendo Switch. We will recruit people to participate in this test from customers only who have Nintendo Online plus that expansion pack, so their highest paid tier.
Okay.
So if you don't pay for the highest tier, you can't even try.
All right.
That's a little annoying, but whatever. I only have it because you can get 7 members on there, you know?
Yeah.
Otherwise, I wouldn't have it. Customers will need to download an exclusive software to their Switch in order to participate.
Okay.
And then here's the guidelines. So basically, you just got to have the highest paid tier effective as of 10/9. So you can't sign up for it now and then try to get it. So
that makes sense.
Got to be 18. A Nintendo account in Japan, the United States, or a couple other countries. How to apply? You just click this link at the bottom of the page and they let you know.
Ta-da!
That's all you got to do. You got to sign in, you click the button, and you get a thing. So I did, and I got that little screenshot saying that I was selected, but I don't know what I'll be doing.
All right.
But I have to download a special software to the Switch. What will it do? What's the point of it?
Yeah.
Like, this doesn't tell you. Nobody knows. Everyone's just guessing.
That's so strange.
What could it be, though?
Why wouldn't they tell you?
I don't know.
So cagey. Like, it's not like you're under an NDA.
You're
just
going to tell out people about it today. You know, like, I don't know what it is. I have no clue what this is. But it's also like participants from Japan will be chosen via a raffle.
Wow.
It says if there are even Japanese applicants. They don't think they're going to try?
Okay.
Okay. But participants outside of Japan will be chosen on a first come, first serve basis. They're looking to have as many as 10,000 participants.
All right. Honestly, that's pretty exclusive. It sounds like a lot, but that's a small number in the grand scheme of things.
I don't know how I wouldn't have been selected because it went live at 10 a.m. Central. And I refreshed the page and I clicked the button and it said, hey, you've been selected. So I guess I was first, you know?
Nice.
I was just like sitting there waiting and the page is still active. So, I mean, if you guys want to, if you have the right requirements, who the fuck knows what you're going to do? I always like being in that early shit.
Yeah.
I don't really do a lot with it. I mean, remember I did the beta for Call of Duty and was like, oh, new running mechanics. I'm never going to buy this game, but I played it, you know?
Yeah.
I did multiplayer betas for Dead Space 2 back in the day. That shit was nuts. It was so good.
Are always fun.
I love betas. I love the stuff. Yeah.
Mess around.
I just want to see what you're doing, and then I may not want it, but I know about it, you know? And then I can say, like, yeah, I tried that. It was stupid, you know?
Right.
But if it's a Switch Online thing, what does that mean? Does that mean, could it be GameCube games? Are they going to be like, hey, let's see if GameCube games work. See if they work. Go play Luigi's Mansion.
That'd be cool.
I would do that.
Yeah, I haven't heard even any speculation on this. Like, it's been pretty under wraps.
Yeah. So you have to sign up by the 15th. They begin testing Wednesday the 23rd through Tuesday, November 5th.
Okay.
So just like 2 weeks, right?
Yeah. That's not very long.
It's 23rd. Yeah, so exactly about a 2-week period. What are they going to do? I don't even really have guesses.
Maybe you're going to test out the Alarmo.
I don't fucking want to. Do you think it's gonna be like, okay, download the software, it put a special thing in there, prop it up next to your bed, go to sleep? And I'm just like, okay, that's what the
Okay.
beta says. Like, I really don't know what it could possibly be, so I guess I'll let you know in like a week or two.
All right.
That's a weird thing I signed up for just on a whim, so I was like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
And
Looking
I'm in
forward
there,
to
so
the update.
I'll let you know. With that, you want to take a quick break and think about what the fuck could be going on?
Let's do it.
Let's do that.
Oh, you think you know what happened to me? Look, I'm back, and I'm about to unearth all the secrets in Old Cove. So do a little refresher on Season 1 and get caught up before Season 2 arrives. Trust and believe. You don't want to miss what's coming.
Welcome to Severed, a podcast suite that offers a rotation of content centered around true crime to paranormal cases. Severed True Crime covers high to low profile true crime cases like the Westfield Watcher, The Staircase, The Keepers, and other binge-worthy favorites on Netflix. Severed Paranormal peers into the corner moon windows of the Amityville Horror House, the Conjuring House, and other mysterious cases, locations, and urban legends.
I'm Harry Chambers.
And I'm Drew Hudson. We want you along for this investigative and haunting roundup. Scare you soon.
All right, guys, if you are loving this episode, but you crave a little bit more YMBToAP, you can get literally hours and hours, up to like a day's worth of content, right? Didn't we factor
Over a
it?
day.
It's a lot. So
We're gonna take
hours,
a moment
2 days.
over the YMBToAP break that is upcoming. We're gonna count it. We're gonna
We
tabulate
should.
it on the sheet.
I mean, I made one for Marvel movies back in the day, and every time a new one would come out, I just add minute and hour content and just keep a running total, and it was a lot all the time.
Things you do, you know.
I did that. Well, someone at work was like, "How long would it take?" And I was like, "Binge clock's letting me down." So hey, but you can get hours and hours, up to days of bonus content by going over to patreon.com/YMBToAP. Sign up to be a patron. We have 3 awesome tiers. We got the $2 tier, gets you in our Discord where we chat with everybody all day long. We got so many different groups and chats in there. Our spooky one is going off because of spooky season. It's a good time. Second, you can get the $5 tier, which gets you the Discord and our little bonus episodes we do before this called the pre-ramble, where we kind of warm up, talk a little bit weirder stuff before we get into the main show.
Today's was really fun.
It was a wild one because you just never know what's going to happen.
You never know.
Or you get up on the top one. That's the $10 tier, where you get Discord, the pre-ramble, and then our Zeitgeist reviews, which are monthly deep dives we do into a movie, a game, a TV show, just some form of media, and we just like go hard on that topic. So that is a thing that you can do. Go check out our website. It's pretty cool. Going over to Redbubble, actually get some stickers, maybe get some pins. You can get this little glass thing that says YMBToAP inside. Pretty cool. It'll be festive for the holidays. Go get one. And again, thank you to all of our supporters. Love you guys so much. So why don't we get you on back to that regularly scheduled content? So remember, I said I was full of mad stuff the whole time.
You're mad at things?
Because remember, I love the first movie.
Yes.
People don't like the first movie.
Yes.
People are hating this movie. So you know what? I gotta prove you wrong, man. Gotta fucking prove you wrong. I went to this movie when the internet was down.
Okay.
There's nothing to do. So I was like, well, might as well. So I saw it a day earlier than I was going to. I was still gonna see it anyway. But I was like, let's just scoot that up. I go see it, man. That movie blows, dude. It's the fucking... Okay, that's excessive.
Okay.
It's not good.
Oh man, really?
It's not good. I would not recommend it to somebody.
Damn.
But it is still worth a watch. But it's not recommendation worthy, because to me that implies I think you would have a good time. I think you would enjoy something.
You think it would take something away from it?
Yeah. I think that's what a recommendation entails.
Yeah.
That's the basis. You will take something away. It's not great.
Okay.
What do you want to know?
So do I have to see the first one to see this one?
Absolutely.
Okay. I really want to see
Kind
both
of.
of these movies. Like, it's been on my list. We were talking about this in Discord.
Okay.
The
Go ahead.
reason that I haven't
Mhm.
sat down with Joker is because it was so popular with a crowd of people that I don't particularly like. Like,
Okay.
not that I don't like the people, but how do I say this with tact as a podcaster who wants to retain listeners? I
Yes.
think
How do you say this?
I think that people liked Joker for the wrong reasons. It felt,
Really? You think this?
yeah, because it felt like the same people who like Fight Club
Mhm.
for the wrong reasons. Like, Fight Club is at the end of the day like a story about mental illness. It's a story about like just being a fucked up person in a fucked up world, and
Yeah.
people who see Fight Club and they're like, I want to start a Fight Club. Like that's
Okay.
the kind of people that liked Joker too
I
much.
gotcha. Okay. Why do you think I like Joker?
I don't know. I can't.
Have I ever told you why I like Joker?
So you were telling me that it's like it's also a story about mental illness. Like it's a story about like
Yeah.
just a guy at the end of his rope and society is not helping him.
Yes.
And
So
that
here's the thing.
story speaks to me.
That's the thing. I think people can't separate what these are from the comic books.
Okay.
These were never meant to become those items. He was never meant to become this grandiose crime boss.
Yeah.
That's the point. Like, it's a good way to view it through like that lens. Like, we're gonna take something so you go. I think it's just so you can walk into the story a little easier because it's not a good story. You know what I mean? I mean, it's a
Right.
guy that literally has nothing going right for him all the time.
Yeah.
So, see, I can't really say a lot because you do wanna watch it.
I do. Yeah. So I don't want spoilers for it. So
I
kind
mean,
of-
for part 1. Like,
Oh,
I was
yeah.
about to say something for part 1, but I was like, "No, let me not do that."
Yeah,
Okay.
don't spoil. But I think that this episode is very I don't know. Like I don't know what I think.
So
I
here,
think that the movie Joker could have been about any other character. Like it could have been an original character.
that's the whole thing. That's what I mean.
It's
I
like an
think
everyman.
because we said Joker, a lot of expectations walk in the door.
Yeah, like when you say
You know what I
Joker,
mean?
it evokes a very specific type of image, like an image that's been crafted since what, the 80s?
Yes.
When did Joker even start? Like
60s, man.
long time we've been with
Yeah.
Joker. So yeah, like there is an expectation that is placed upon the movie when you call it Joker. Like that's
Yeah.
a character. This is a brand new kind of like take on
Like,
that guy, right? He's not the
it's
clown prince of crime.
it's so hard to put into words how I understand it. Like, I don't know how to say it because yes, it's not about that man. It's not about that character per se. But it's still like I don't know what to say with that cuz like it could be anybody. You could take the term Joker out of it, the story, the movie would operate the same,
Yeah.
right? And you could still get behind it. To me, I think people by the end of the first one, it leans a little bit into like, and then he could be this great thing, but then it ended.
Okay.
And it was intended to be a standalone as well. There was never meant to be a part 2, but it grossed $1 billion. So like,
Yeah.
we
They're
have
like,
to
"You
make
know
a part
what?
2.
We like money,
And so
so
here's the thing. What did you say? It attracts a certain crowd.
yeah.
Well, the director, Todd Phillips, said, "God damn, I fucking hate that crowd of people for liking it for this reason." So the whole purpose of this movie is to shit on those people.
All right. Let's do it.
But it doesn't work the same for me. Like, okay, I can objectively tell you the ideas behind it, and it's great, and it is solid, and it works as intended.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just not interesting to watch. There's nothing interesting. And the moments that are interesting, we don't do anything with because it's meant to leave you dissatisfied.
Okay.
You
yeah.
are supposed to not be satisfied watching this movie. And since I wasn't, isn't it good then? It is good. Like, it did its job. But the job is to be bad. and that is in itself the problem.
Okay.
No, like, for real. The director straight up said, people like this character for the wrong reason. People like him for a reason I didn't intend. So therefore, I'm going to make you feel bad about that choice. And that's this whole movie.
That's fair. I mean, sometimes the director has to
Yeah.
teach his audience to listen.
So I'll tell you some of the differences and why I think they work and don't work. Part one works because we're out here. Like, the movie's happening up here.
Mm-hmm.
And we're watching it.
Yeah.
We're getting to see it happen. Part two is like we're seeing it happen, but through his lens, through his point of view.
Ah, okay.
And if your point of view is broken, then that means the movie is broken. Therefore, it won't make a lot of sense because it doesn't make sense to him. If he can't make sense of what's happening, how can we? Because we're watching it through his point of view.
So it has like elements of unreliable narrator?
No. That's the first one.
Okay.
The first one is the unreliable narrator, and it's perfect, and it's great.
Okay.
It's good. Because we don't know what he knows.
Yeah.
So that's why when we're presented something and we're sitting back here, we go, what does that mean? But in part two, we know his thought process because we're in his brain. And so we go, I understand, but that doesn't make sense. That, I think, is part of the problem. Sitting back here, it was great. But being like in it doesn't sell it as hard. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
I think that's one of the problems. Because, like, okay, so, you know, it's a musical.
Yes.
Not really.
Okay, so is it like a movie with musical numbers then?
There are songs.
Okay.
I would say there are 2 musical numbers.
That's it?
Yes. There are songs that are sung. No, there's maybe like 4.
Okay.
Because to me, a musical number would be I'm progressing the plot and kind of explaining our character's thoughts.
Yeah.
And some of these are just songs.
Okay.
And that's a reason people got mad too, which is weird to me. I just think it's funny how the choices were made and what people wanted and didn't want. So Lady Gaga's in it, and she's phenomenal.
Of course.
So
She's
wouldn't
Gaga.
Joaquin Phoenix, who did movies where he sang great as well? They would, but he said Joker's not a trained artist, so he would sing like shit. So he purposely sings like shit. And all of the songs that he sings don't sound good.
Okay.
But that's by design. So that's what I mean. Like, the design is doing its purpose.
I love that the director was like, let's make a bad movie. Let's do
But
a
you
bad
don't
one.
like it. You know what I mean? Like, I can see it on both people's sides, but I wish people wouldn't so pull, I want exactly the comics out of this, because this is not the fucking comics. This is not that story.
So I'm trying to find out where I can watch it on streaming, because I know that's not doing well in theaters. So typically movies that don't do so hot show up on Max almost right away.
How many people were in my theater, do you think?
10?
4.
Oh no, that includes you.
Yeah.
Oh God,
Yeah, there was like 2 couples there. That's it.
man.
People don't like it. And I can tell you, I have to tell you this part though, because I
Okay.
just have to prepare you.
Okay.
Everybody's super excited because it's Joker and Harley shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's not a thing.
Like they're not
Like
romantically involved.
they are, but the way you would envision Joker Harley, what everybody knows, that's not this in any way, shape, or form.
Okay.
There's not that deep love, that obsessive love. That's not what this is at all.
Okay. Huh.
It's not the comic. It's not that. And that's basically all this movie is trying to say is I'm not what you want it to be.
That's so
And so it's not.
strange.
And it's good in that respect. So here's what I mean by like we're in his brain for part 2, right?
Okay.
Like so basically every song, that's when we're in his brain. Because he really likes music, so when the world gets tough and his brain tries to protect him, he envisions a musical number.
Oh.
And so you know they're fake. I'm just going to go ahead and tell you, like, this isn't plot super pertinent, but like he's asked a question at one point and he sings this entire song and he walks through the whole room interacting with everybody in it. And right as he gets to like the last word, this guy goes, "Are you going to answer that fucking question?" So you now know every time a musical number happens, none of this is real.
Okay.
This is all what he envisions in his brain at the moment.
I am deep in Google right now and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on with so there's Joker 2019, which is, you know,
Beautiful. Love it. That movie is a straight up fucking 10 out of 10 for me. It is a great movie. I love it so much.
what is Joker Part 2 2021?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
I'm wondering if this is a sanctioned movie. It's directed by Jake Olive. And it's got Harley Quinn. And Lex Luthor is there for some reason. What is
That
this?
looks like maybe like some kind of fan thing.
Yeah.
Fan thing.
Fan thing. But like,
Because it's on IMDb. But yeah, it's not. Yeah, this
Is it
looks
a
like just a
short?
fan thing to try to do it.
Okay.
It looks like it. Yeah, I wouldn't bank on that.
No. All right. It's from Continuity
So-
Pictures.
Also, the title. Remember?
Yes. Folie
Folie
à
à
deux.
deux, a shared delusion.
Yeah.
Well, I don't really take that from this at all.
Damn it.
Like I don't understand. Like I do understand. Like I understand this movie perfectly. I know the point. I know the reason. I get it.
Yeah.
But like, it's just not. It's not like it's not fun. Like when we did. Well, like when we watch harder, scary movies, where like it's like hard to handle content.
Uh-huh.
There is some hard to handle content in this that TikTok made seem a little bit worse than it was.
Oh.
But we're just supposed to know that it happened, and the fact that it happened is supposed to make you sad.
TikTok does a lot of that, don't they?
Yeah, because the thing that I thought was the aftermath, and I was like, oh. So did that happen? Like, I honestly wasn't aware that it kind of happened.
Okay. I really
And
wanna
a lot
watch
of
this.
people were confused. It's weird, man. Like, I don't know what you would think because I don't know what you want from it.
Yeah.
And
do you-
it's funny. So this was the whole thing. One of the memes, which is kind of funny to me, was everybody came to the movie because the point of the movie is it's about the guy. It's about Arthur. It's about the man.
yeah.
It's not about the symbol, which is Joker.
Is Arthur Joker's name?
In this, his name is
Oh.
Arthur Fleck. That's his
Okay.
name.
That's not his like historical.
No.
What is Joker's name? Does he have a name?
No, because he's an unreliable narrator, so we don't know ever. Like, he has no canonical backstory.
That's fascinating.
He is a fucking entity of chaos, and that's it. Now, people have given him backstories, but there's some that are widely accepted, but none of
Okay.
them are like, that's officially it.
All right, so they're like, oh, I got these scars. That's not like a real canonical event.
I want to tell you stuff about this movie so bad,
Damn
but I
it.
know you won't let me.
Do you have Joker, like the first one?
Yeah,
Can you slide that across my desk?
I will do that.
Thank you.
I will do that
watch
later.
it.
I actually would like to watch it again. I fucking love that movie. And I guess I got a different thing than all those other people. Because
Okay.
for me, it's like I said, it was the mental illness thing. And it was just how, like, I felt like it was more of a warning, like, look at what can happen when you don't take stuff seriously.
Okay.
Like here's the downtrodden people of the world. This guy had no meds, no city sanctioned therapy no more. Like, all this stuff got taken from him, and you left him in the wild, and then you were mean to him all the time. Like, what do you expect?
Yeah, just out there raw
You know what I
dogging
mean?
life.
And he wasn't evil to me. Like, just shit happened. I would love to hear your take of the first one. I don't want to know your take about part 2. I don't care about that movie at all. I want to tell you stuff so bad, but I know you want to see them. So
Yeah, I'll make it a point to watch the
here's
first one.
how bad it was.
Okay.
I've already texted Desi about it, and I said, please don't waste your time.
Oh God, really?
Because you already said why you want to see it, and it's not there. And she goes,
Damn.
but I just want to turn off my brain for 2 hours. And I was like, you can sure do that. Me and Taylor fell asleep at different parts of the movie.
Oh my God, you guys!
It's just not good. Like, it's not good in the sense of, like, entertainment. But okay, I mean, I think this will have aired by the time I do this. Okay, but so we just did a show with Severed that may or may not have aired by now.
It won't air by the time this airs.
But that movie is also not entertaining in the same kind of way.
Yeah, okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's not entertaining, but, like, you can still gather something from it.
Okay.
This one's not entertaining, but what you can gather isn't just presented like that one is, because we're watching it through his brain. So the only things we can interpret are, like, we hear something on TV, and so we go, okay, that's what's actually happening in the world. That's what's happening in the movie. What his idea is not happening.
Okay.
Like, we have to piece together a grander plot.
I kind of like that though.
But all that's just in the first one without also just presenting it to you. You know what I mean? Like, the first one was like a society thing. Part 2 to me is just, you might like it more. It is a literal person study. It is just this man working through his own thoughts and feelings, but being horribly broken in the process.
I might like it. I don't know.
You might like it.
When it
but
hits
I
max,
don't know.
inevitably within the next 60 to 90 days, I'm going to put it on my docket.
What do you think I rate it?
After this speech, 3?
It's like a 5 for me.
Okay.
It's just a 5. I'll never really think about it again. The things that I like in it, well, I like them. Like, I like them.
All right.
But like, the things that I really like, 10 seconds to the movie, like, you
Sweet.
introduce the idea and then you don't do anything with it. Oh my
Man.
God. Tenzin's little paw is, like, grabbing at this string right here.
Is he coming under the door at you?
Yeah. I just saw it go away. Like, there's something right at the end of the movie that I loved so much. And we, like, learn it too late. And then we're done with the movie. And I was like, I want that. Like, I want a little bit more of that.
Okay.
And I didn't get it. I don't know, man. It's just a whole thing. So how did I get my 5? I was trying to tell Taylor. She was like, a 5? And I was like, okay. Entertainment wise, yeah, it's like a 3.
Okay.
Music wise, it's like a 4. Concept wise, it's like a 8 or a 9. Like it's got big ideas. We
All
just
right.
don't present them well.
Doesn't execute on them.
No, so it's a 5. Like the good and the bad outweigh a little bit. It's just a real nothing burger kind of thing.
Okay.
So I think if you guys really want to know about it, you should still see it. I mean, I don't regret having seen it. I am just sad that it's not as good as the first one. Because the
right.
first one was, I'll never forget walking out of that British movie theater and then being all like, those fucking Americans like their stupid movies. And I was like, ooh, that movie was so good. I loved it. I need to go to the UK real quick and see this and see if they're like, that was better. I like
Yeah.
this one.
Maybe it's a British movie.
I wonder.
Refined.
So, anyway, I don't know. That's all I can tell you about it since I can't say much more.
All right.
But it's all right.
I'll watch Joker. We'll revisit it on a future YMBToAP, I promise.
That's cool. I love that. We should do an interlude on Joker at some point because
I would love that.
That movie, at least the first one, so dense. So dense. It was shit, man.
All right.
This next thing I have for you could get out of hand. Because it already has been. This was my entire Monday. No. Yeah. This was like a 6-hour thing. This turned into a big thing. We're not going to go that hard.
Okay.
But let me just preface with, and let me ask you, what's your favorite zombie movie?
Yeah, you put this question in the Discord a few days ago, and I was like, that's a big one. So I have 3 answers for you.
Okay, that's... Well, let's see if it causes a problem.
Okay, so my favorite zombie movie, I think, when you asked me my favorite zombie movie, instantly I was like, it's Dawn of the Dead, the remake. Because that's
mine, actually.
That reinvented zombie movies. It was just like a new invigoration for the genre, and we saw so much blossom up out of that. So that is
love that movie.
That's my nomination for favorite zombie movie.
I like it.
Favorite zombie story might be Warm Bodies, because that story is so fucking good, and I know that movie means a lot to you too. It's
we're moving a little bit into the problem zone.
Okay. And one of my favorite.
Come on.
Silly
Go ahead. Let's just see where it goes.
Zombie movies to turn on is Night of the Living Dorks, which is a German.
Is that the German one?
Yes.
Oh, where his nipples fall off and shit.
It's so fucking stupid, and it's so
that is a great fucking movie.
That is a popcorn and candy kind of movie. It's so good.
I love that movie. It's
I'm
so
happy.
good.
It's so good.
Oh, it's so funny. Okay. So here's the thing. It was just a thing I saw on Twitter. I was just on Twitter. They had a picture of a zombie lady, and they were like, what's your favorite zombie movie? So people are like, oh, Zombieland.
Yeah, Zombieland's good.
A lot of Dawn of the Dead remake. Lots of, Return of the Living Dead. All the old George A. Romero's, all that good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so then I was like, oh, yeah, well, what's your favorite? To Taylor. And she's like, ooh, I Am Legend. And I go,
no.
That's not zombies. And she's like, yeah, they are zombies.
No.
And I was like, no.
No.
Those are vampires. And she goes, no, they're zombies. That's not the full debate. But in the original book, Richard Matheson calls them vampires. They also don't go out in the sunlight.
Yeah.
Therefore, I always inferred vampires even from that. So then it turned into a whole thing. Well, what's a zombie? And nobody is on the same fucking page.
Why?
What's a zombie?
A guy that's been resurrected, like a dead reanimated corpse.
Okay. I vibe with that. I said, I'm not going to throw in Hunting for Human Flesh because I feel like that was a way later edition. That's like George A. Romero edition.
Yeah.
So I stripped that out. So, okay. A reanimated corpse.
Yeah.
So are vampires technically zombies?
No.
Because in some cases you have to die and then you're reanimated.
Vampires don't die.
They die to become a vampire sometimes. That's what I mean. They become resuscitated corpses.
But like they die into vampirism. They don't like die and
Yes,
then wake
but you
up and become a
die
vampire.
into zombieism?
You don't. You die and then you become a zombie.
Okay.
Vampire is just like human
So
into
are-
vampire.
The Last of Us creatures zombies.
No,
Why?
they're cordyceps.
But why aren't
They
they
don't-
zombies then?
They don't come from corpses, right? Like it's a person that gets infected with a
So
disease.
your sole basis is they have to come from corpses. They have to be
Yeah.
dead.
Yeah,
Okay. They don't die in warm bodies.
they don't.
They're not dead people because they turn back into humans.
Well, yeah, they turn back into humans, but aren't they dead to begin with?
No. It's a disease that turned them into those things. They're not
Oh,
dead though.
I'm
But
misremembering
they're
that movie.
zombies. No, but they are people call them zombies, and they are the exact depiction of movie zombies.
Yeah,
But if you think about it, they're not fucking zombies. And this was my whole fucking Sunday. Because I had to staunchly defend that I Am Legend is not zombies.
yeah, it's not zombies. Like that's
So, okay, do you take zombies as no humanity? So let's strip out corpses then. It's brain deadness. Like, okay, no consciousness, no humanity inside, therefore a zombie.
no, because zombies do have some humanity left. That's why they gather at the mall in Day of the Dawn of the Dead, because they have that vestige that remembers, like, I like to go to the mall, and they go there.
Okay, because one of the things about zombies was that they have no consciousness.
They
That
don't
was
have-
like a core description for zombies. And
they
so
have
that's my thing too.
subconsciousness.
That's my thing too. I think since the term zombies become popular,
Uh-huh.
since what is it, Return of the Dead or Night of the Living Dead? Which one's
Night of
first?
the Living Dead.
Okay. That's when it like really starts. That's a little too modern where we've gotten into reinventing things so quickly. Zombies have not been a one note thing ever. We fucking
Yeah.
keep reinventing the wheel
Yeah, look
every movie.
fucking World War Z. Like now they gotta run real fast. Like there's new layers and new things that are added on to
Keep
like
nuancing it every
Yeah.
fucking movie.
I think honestly the modern media that depicts the best zombie is The Walking Dead,
Okay.
because it is literally just like everybody has the virus in them, you die, and then you
Okay.
reanimate as a zombie.
Okay. But the specific definition for zombie is supernatural resurrection.
Yeah, so
That
like,
is a
originally-
literal disease.
Yeah. Originally what it was is that it came from like the idea of voodoo, like
Yep.
getting resurrected.
Zombie's a Haitian word. I learned that recently.
Yeah, that's not cool. And then actually Romero kind of took that idea and like perverted it a little bit into his version of the zombie, which comes from space. Like a meteor crash landed on Earth
Okay.
and
See, I
caused
didn't know
some
that.
kind
I've
of
never
a
seen those.
supernatural. Yeah, so it caused like some kind of a supernatural phenomenon, and I don't know if it affects
Okay.
everybody or if it's just like people in the immediate area of the meteor that get affected. I don't know, but some kind of
Okay.
space disease came down, and then like people are turning back into like the dead are reanimating.
Okay. Because somebody was like, well, they rise from their graves. And I was like, see, you say rise from the grave? I think ghoul. Like, you're now taking me to a different realm.
So ghoul and zombie, what is the difference between those?
I know now.
Okay.
A ghoul is a demon that is eating people,
Okay.
whereas zombies are people reanimated corpses.
Okay.
But George A. Romero called them ghouls in the first movie.
Yeah, kind of an interchangeable term.
So
for
like
a
you
while.
said though, it's like he like kind of mixed things and perverted the idea into what we came to say is a zombie now.
Yeah, the modern like idea, the modern icon of zombie is kind of
Okay.
invented from Romero. You know, like
So
that.
let me make you mad with this then, because then
Okay.
I had somebody else just kick in a whole other fucking argument today out of nowhere.
All right.
Take a guess who said this one. You don't even have to die to be a zombie. They said they see it as brain death. If your brain dies, you're a zombie, meaning strictly zero consciousness change.
So like people that are in
So now The Last of Us, because cordyceps basically take you away, which they don't, but for the sake of it, some people do call them fungus zombies. I think people are so stuck on zombie meaning just like devoid of feeling, constantly trying to get at you things. But that's not a zombie to me.
Yeah, I think the definition is always expanding. Like it's funny because zombies really like the one. Would you? Okay, so I was gonna say that zombies are the one monster that has kind of evolved over time and like become something different, because the Mummy, always the Mummy, Frankenstein, always Frankenstein. But now that I'm thinking about it, werewolves and vampires.
Okay, there we go. I was waiting for vampires. Yeah,
they have equally been like changed over the course of the last.
I think are equally popular. No one cares about the Mummy. No one cares about Frankenstein.
Right. Yeah, like vampires, sexy, werewolf, sexy. It's all about like what's popular in media right now and how can we make it different. So that's kind of
what I mean.
Thing too.
Everything's a tweak, and we're changing some fundamental core aspect.
Yeah,
all the time.
And that's because of Hollywood. Like you're trying to get something interesting, something new for audiences. Like, oh, he's a vampire, but he sparkles in the sunlight, or like, oh, he's a werewolf, but I don't fucking know anything about the werewolves in Twilight. They don't wear shirts.
Jacob, put your shirt on. No. Okay, so werewolves to me would still be humanoid. They literally turn into wolves. That's their difference.
Yeah. Okay, so they do just turn into like puppy dogs, whereas like werewolves
big,
are just like
giant fucking wolves. Yeah.
Yeah, werewolves are just like fucking werewolves. The bipedal.
Yes, with the fucking bent legs and shit.
Yeah, and weird spines, like the Van Helsing.
Yeah,
werewolves. That's what I remember.
That's great.
It's a good shit.
So you're with me. It's hard to say because the definition changes yearly. Almost.
Yeah, it really does. Like, I mean, I will always have a definition for what zombie means to me, but somebody whose favorite movie is, I don't know, some new zombie movie.
You were very excited for this one.
Yeah.
Army of the Dead.
Yeah.
And one spoke, didn't it?
Yes. Okay. So in Army of the Dead,
drastic change.
They're changing it up. Like they're still following in the Romero universe, but they're like, what now if zombies could kind of come back a little bit, make their own society, be smart, build stuff.
But then in that scenario, are you not a zombie?
That's a part of the reason why I didn't like Army of the Dead as much, because it is very like taking the idea of zombie and changing it. I thought it was interesting, but it's not like, as a zombie fan, it's not where I would hang my hat.
Yeah. I'm not sure if they don't die in Warm Bodies now that I'm going back to it, but I swear to God, they don't die. I think they were just like, we became this one day. Because then remember, if you just like give up completely, you turn into those black skeleton things.
Yeah.
Which is nowhere near in the zombie realm of state of things.
Yeah.
So it makes it where you can't say that. But also, I hearkened to this in Friday Roundup. So if you guys watch Friday Roundup, here's the payoff. I asked my mom for her favorite zombie movie, and she said Cowboys and Aliens.
That's not.
And I said, where the fuck are zombies and cowboys and aliens? And she goes, the things they fight. And I said, Daniel Craig. Yeah. He has the thing on his arm. Yeah. I was like, well, what's the plot to that movie? And she recounts the plot perfectly to me. And I'm like, okay, we are about the same movie. Where are the zombies in a movie called Cowboys and Aliens? It's the only two factions in the thing. And she goes, well, the aliens look like zombies.
Well, like,
not really, but sure. Quit saying this. And she just doubled down and said, "That's my answer." And I was like, "Just fucking have it."
All right.
Stu gave me Walking Dead. It's not a movie. That's okay.
Good choice,
Mom
too.
said Walking Dead was another good choice.
I mean,
That's
it is a
fine.
really good depiction of zombies, honestly.
It is, but I was looking for a movie, and it's fine. They haven't seen many zombie movies, so they like that, and that's acceptable because I like Walking Dead. And like you said, that's a great zombie.
Yeah.
I'm cool with not supernatural. I'm cool with the disease thing. That's neat, and that was a good
That's-
twist that we all had it in us all along. That's a
Yeah.
good twist.
That is a very like modern iteration on it, and I think it's become one of the more widely accepted ones because that makes it even more scary because like now it's inevitable, just like death itself.
So let's go back to Last of Us.
Okay.
The fungus zombies.
Yes.
You said they were not.
I don't
You say
think that
no.
they're zombies. They're because I mean they turn into other creatures like the blooming head dudes and the
Okay.
clickers and
Because I say absolutely not. I say 0%. Do we call
Yeah.
that a zombie? But
But-
the disease cordyceps even calls them zombie ants, though.
well that's just kind of like co-opting the term.
It's because there we go. Because to me, there has to be death.
Yeah.
You must die to become zombie,
Yeah.
right? I say
Right.
you
I
don't
think
die in The Last of Us. It's a fungus that's just growing out of you.
Yeah. You just like
And then when you die,
transition.
they die.
Yeah, you
That's it.
transition from human into cordyceps monster.
Yes.
You don't transition
Okay.
like human to dead thing to cordyceps monster.
But to some people's point of view, where you're just brain dead, where you're not a person, you are now zombie.
I think that's a separate class.
So see, now it's turning into classes of zombies and varieties of zombies.
Yeah,
So you
and
can't say zombie now. You have to say a type now.
As I was saying, like I don't think the Last of Us zombies are zombies because they have like different types, like the clickers and the stuff. I was like kind of confronted with the idea of Left 4 Dead or Back for Blood, Back to Blood,
Back for Blood. You're right.
Back for
Yeah,
Blood.
you're right.
I think the modern zombie menagerie is always
Okay.
going to involve something of like different types because you have boomers that kind like all the same.
Yeah.
Even in State of Decay, you got screamers, you got ferals, you have like all the different types of zombies that are like the archetype different enemy. And that's just because like they're in a video game. You have to make them a little bit different to fight, a little bit more interesting. And that's another like perversion of the idea where they're taking it and they're like, how can I iterate this to make this more of a challenge for my players?
Yeah. Like it all started because of I Am Legend, but then it grew into defining.
Yeah.
And basically the definition is whatever you want, I guess.
Yeah, it's just like dead thing, but it's not even dead thing anymore. Like sometimes I don't know.
I know, and I thought it was good until I heard you don't gotta die.
Yeah.
What do you mean? That's the
what do you mean? But that is like for me. That's
too far along.
That's the bare minimum. Is you have to be dead.
Cool. And so I'll go with the one other thing that I heard that was okay with it. So Mary was in on this part of my whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
Her equation was zombie, no humanity, no consciousness. Things with consciousness, humanity, not a zombie. And I was like, okay, but if you do, but if you do that, Warm Bodies is strictly out.
Yeah, because they're retaining humanity and consciousness.
Yes. So absolutely out, making this very hard.
Yeah.
And this felt like the nerdiest argument, but I don't care. I Am Legend is not zombies.
No, it's not.
But then what are they? Because they're not really vampires. Because they don't drink blood per se.
Yeah, what defines modern vampire? Do modern vampires have to drink blood?
Yes. That was a bare minimum.
Okay. I mean, that's my bare minimum, but is that like
my bare minimum is also sunlight. Don't go outside.
Yeah. I'm trying to think of like other iterations of today's vampire that don't follow those basic rules.
A lot of vampires can go out in the daylight now.
Yeah, daywalkers are a whole thing.
I don't like that shit. Like, I don't vibe with that.
No.
You're in the nighttime.
You're a nighttime creature. You stay
Nighttime
there.
and blood. So to Mary's point, she had said it's strictly because they want blood. They don't need flesh.
Yeah,
That's a zombie thing.
right.
They just crave blood, and it can be animal blood, whatever else. But it's the blood that sustains them. Plus, they're highly intelligent, and they're not dead. They are undead. They are because like zombies rot still. They aren't
Yeah.
immortal.
Yeah,
Like-
they're corpses.
Exactly. So this was a whole thing. And I just wanted to see where we'd go because I was like, I swear to God, if Kelsey says I'm legend or some bullshit, like
Can you imagine?
I'm gonna have a fucking problem. But okay, so I could just present to you and we could just have a discussion about defining. And that was fun. But also very good picks. And we had the same one, which is pretty dope.
Yeah, that's
But that
good.
movie is fucking good though.
It's good. It's like one of those movies that you would just
Ugh.
place up on a golden pedestal and look at
Ugh.
from time to time. It's good. It's perfect.
I first saw about that movie in 40-Year-Old Virgin
Oh my god.
because they're playing a part of it in the like store that they work at, and I was like, "What the fuck
Oh,
is
yeah.
that movie?" I was like, "What's this little girl bites this dude's neck out?" So I went and got it, and then I was changed. Like, I don't think I'd ever really liked a zombie movie until I saw that one.
Yeah, that movie like took a kind of a dead genre and resurrected it like a zombie.
What was bad about zombie movies before that, though?
I mean, it's not that they were bad, it's just that they weren't like mainstream media popular.
But also, hang on. Because you said they were fast because of that one, but I think that's 28 Days Later.
Where was he?
No.
No,
You
they're
said-
fast because of World War Z.
You said, well, yeah. But in the Dawn of the Dead remake, they run as well.
Do they?
Yeah, when they're going in the mall, there's this one little, like, Asian one with no arm that's just like fucking booking it, man. Because
Don't
he always,
remember that.
you know, I don't like when things book it at me, so I always hated him. I fucking don't like that guy. And they bum rush him in the end credits when they hit the island. There at
Oh,
the end, they fucking come running out of the fog out. They run at them.
huh? Yeah.
All right, 28 Days Later, 2002.
What a movie.
Dawn of the Dead, 2004. So actually, the Fast Zombie still completely, fully, that's a 28 Days Later thing.
Okay.
And then everyone else took that.
Yeah.
That's
If you
what
haven't
revitalized it.
seen- If you haven't seen the original Dawn of the Dead 2, I think you should because that one is really good.
I do
Very
want to see
solid.
that one. Yeah. Because I know that one plays a lot more into like race relations and stuff. And I'm like, ooh, good
It's a
thing
very
going on there. You know?
intense movie.
Yeah, I would like to see that one. I think I'm just gonna go watch Dawn of the Dead right now.
Yeah, I might too.
I'm just gonna be sitting there. Ooh, ah.
Oh my god, the best opening to a fucking movie ever.
Oh, get up, come on, get down
Then
with the
with
sickness.
sickness.
Now, if they sang like that in the Joker movie, I might have liked it better. So anyway, cool, good. Favorite zombie movie in the bag. But since we're getting a spooky season, I might ask what your favorite other monster movies are to end the show the rest of the month.
All right.
See what we can come up with. Because
See what we can come up with because I don't
we
really
have
know
a
any other
wild one.
monsters.
you know, you don't watch like vampire movies a lot?
I mean,
Werewolf movies?
I used to watch more than I do now, like Van Helsing and I don't know.
Van Helsing's so good, though.
Van Helsing is so good.
I love that one.
Underworld. Don't tell me you don't like Kate Beckinsale and that.
Oh,
tweed
no.
leather.
I have really never seen them.
Man,
Like, I kind of watched the first one when it came out, and I remember a little bit of part two, and I just never watched them.
I'm gonna look at pictures of Kate Beckinsale and tight leather right now.
You do that. And
Underworld.
so, while you're doing that, I guess, do you want to get out of here and go try to define zombie for the modern age?
Yeah, I want to get out of here and go watch Joker.
Yeah, let's do that.
Before we go, though, check your registration and vote. We said that last time, but our banner still stands.
Yes.
Do it. If you can early, I think it might be too late to register for some states at this point because the election is nigh. It is in 1, 2, 3 weeks. So get after
So,
it.
when this episode drops on the 14th,
Yep.
it is officially 1 week until you can early vote in Texas. We start on the 21st. So
Hell yeah.
I don't know when you start in art. I think you start a little bit after us, but we'll see.
I think we're starting very soon. I have to
Yeah.
check because I have to vote before I leave.
Yeah. Gotta do that.
Gotta do that. Anywho, if you guys liked this show very much, I've lost my notes. If you guys loved this show, tell a friend about us because word of mouth is the best way we can get the good YMToAP into new ears. Have you ever thought about like how to make YMToAP with your arms? Because I was thinking about that during the ad break.
Oh my god.
Wait, B
Wait. Yeah. B.
B T
A.
O
Oh, whoops.
A.
Skip the T.
P.
That's
How's it
not
go?
as easy as H-O-T-T.
YMBToAP.
Yeah.
If you guys want to make YMToAP arms with us next week, make sure you bring a friend because word of mouth is the best way we get listeners into this new show. This old show, we've been doing it for 5.5 years now. Good God. We release weekly every single Monday, and we have done that for a very long time. Each and every Monday, that little Monday truck brings it to you guys. We load him up. He takes it to you. It's a good distribution system. It works for both of us. We pay him, in sandwiches. We make him little sandwiches, and he takes them around, eats them with his truck mouth. Anyway, if you're in the know and you want to talk to us, you can catch us over on the Discord. That is if you're not already following us on Instagram and TikTok and all the good social media places. But our best friends live in Discord. Those are the patrons, and they support us with money. If you don't want to support us with money, listening and purchasing is money. Just support YMToAP. Support your local podcast, y'all. We love you guys very much. And we especially love the patrons for hanging out and keeping it real.
Yeah, we do. But we also love Faraj because he does our theme song, The Grim Reaper Blows the Horn. Go check it out on YouTube. It is amazing. The guy's amazing. We actually just learned where part of the opening comes from now. Like,
We
who knew?
did.
5 years later, we would learn something new about it. Like, the deep cuts this man does to sample for these songs is just amazing. Chef's kiss. Go give him some likes and a little subscription. And as always, thanks for listening and tune in next time to get the answer to that burning question. What the fuck is a zombie?